I want to talk about belts. Belts is something that I often get asked about, and it's one of those things that can really make and break an outfit. I use belts in 99% of all my outfits now, but I used to be petrified of wearing a belt. I used to think it was scary, very, very scary. So I want to just talk you through the belts. I want to talk you through why I wear them, how I wear them, what size to choose, colors, and all those sort of things. But most importantly, the mindset about having a belt in your outfit and what it actually does for your outfit. First, I will say that I do not wear belts to hold up my trousers. None of my outfits require a belt for practicality. My outfit, I use the belt as an accessory. It's like wearing my jewelries. It's like the right shoes, the right bags, the colors I put together. And that's the aspect of belts that I think often confuses people, because it was meant to be a practical piece. And we don't use it for practicalities anymore. If your trousers are that big that they require a belt, you probably need to consider going down a size in trousers. Do you know what I mean? First up, let's talk about where I buy plus size belts, because that's probably the most asked questions that I get about belts. I tend to buy plus size belts in Primark. They go up to 2XL, however, they are in store only. So you have to be lucky to be next to a Primark. Shein has some fantastic ones as well. They are faux leather. They have the Curve Plus section, and they go up to a UK size 30 as far as I remember. So there's definitely scope on Shein as well. As for sturdy belts, like lasting belts, I would say H&M. I like H&M. They have up to a 2XL in some of the belts, and I would say that's a 24, 26, UK 24, 26. What else do we have? There's Always Yours Clothing. They go up to a 30, 32, and they have a great selection of belts. I don't shop there all that terribly much anymore. They don't have my personal aesthetic, but for the likes of white calf boots, they're great for those as well. And for belts, they're fantastic. And last up, I have ASOS. ASOS have some great belts as well. Again, they don't have the biggest selection, but they do have up to the 30, 32, sometimes UK 30, 32. And, you know, I just keep an eye out, and when I see a belt that I like, I add it to my collection. And that leads us on to the next point. Having belts, you don't need to, well, this is my personal opinion, of course. I have a collection of belts, and many of my belts, as I said before, I've had them for years. I don't use some of them very often. I have some over there. I haven't used them in several years, but I don't get rid of them because belts are fantastic accessories. So having a great selection of belts that even when they go in and out of fashion and stuff, that's always good. You're never going to go wrong with them. They don't take much space to store either. And it's just such a great little thing that you can add to an outfit. The next thing to consider is the width of your belt. And a lot of it is personal preference, but it also depends on your body shape as well as how much space you have from underneath your bust down to your crotch area. This area here determines how much space you have for a belt. Now, I don't have a long torso, nor do I have a short torso. I'm pretty evenly distributed in the space that I have, meaning a belt that is kind of like a medium normal size is what works the best for me. And I can absolutely show you. Now, I'll just put it on top here so you can see, right? I'm even putting it on the wrong way. If I put the belt on here, see that belt here is aesthetically pleasing to look at because it adds to the outfit, but it hasn't taken up any space per se. If I have a belt like this, just drop that down there, which is a lot wider, it's also black, but if I put that on here, can you see how that belt takes up more real estate in the middle compared to the other one? And that's what you're up against. And if you don't have a lot of space in between this area, the bigger the belt, the stumpier you're going to look. If, however, you don't have a lot of real estate space in between here, going for a slimline belt is what's going to work the best, because all of a sudden you will have, it'll look like you have more space there. Now, don't mind the colors, right? It's just so I can show you. Can you see how all of a sudden it looks like I have a little bit more space in that area versus putting on the thick one, where all of a sudden it's taken up more space and I look a bit more stumpy. Can you see the difference? It's incredible what a belt can actually do. It really is. See that? My legs immediately looks a little bit more stumpy. I look shorter compared to that. You see that? It's incredible the difference it makes. Now, because my real estate, the space I have here, I'm evenly spaced out. That's just how I'm built. I can get away with a belt that has this normal medium size. And I think most of us can. As you can tell, I have a huge selection of belts, and this is only a fraction of my belts that I have actually taken in with me here. The rest is hanging in my wardrobe. But next up, I want to talk about belt buckles. Now, again, it's a lot of this comes down to your personal taste, right? I personally prefer a gold buckle. Something that shines like that. Normal, easy gold. But I do like myself, this one is a plastic kind of tortoiseshell style. You can also get belts that have the colors on it. You can get the gold, you can get the silver, you can get double loops, you can get, that's a double loop as well. You can get the single loops, you can get square, rectangular ones. Let's see, do we have something that has a bit of interest? There are so many to choose from. And it's all down to your personal preference, what you like in your outfits. Now, as you know, my style is very streamlined. It's very timeless. It's very, I hope it's elegant. That's the style that I like, and that's the style that I work with. The pieces that I wear are very, I was going to say bland, but they're not bland. They're plain. I don't do a lot of pattern, meaning because I don't do patterns, I can play around with the accessories. It's the same with my earrings, necklace, rings, all those sort of things. I play around with the accessories because the pieces I wear are plain. So something like, now maybe not with the outfit I'm wearing today, but you could go for something with a bit of interest in it. Do you see that? That could be a fun little accessory. Now, if you're wearing a top with polka dots on it or stripes or something like that, unless you prefer mixing patterns, something like this, you probably wouldn't wear it. But with plain, simple pieces, a belt with some interest in it could be really, really fun. The same goes for colors. I had some more colors in with me. Again, the outfit I'm wearing today may not warrant this kind of a colorful belt, but because you can get belts in so many different colors, it's fun to add to your outfits, right? Just to change it up a little bit. And that's how you can really, really play around with belts. So there are so many options. They're truly something for everyone. It's simply just up to your personal preference, what you prefer. The first outfit I want to share with you is a suit. I've just popped the jacket on that matches my trousers. I have popped on a flat little ballerina shoe. It is pointy because that is what elongates our legs and makes us look a little bit taller, right? This is the outfit as it is, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with this outfit. And if you prefer this way of wearing an outfit, that's absolutely fine. But look at the difference when I put on a belt. When I choose a belt for my outfit, I prefer to keep an outfit in 2, max 3 colors. I prefer 2 colors. So for this outfit here, I have gone for chocolate brown. I have chocolate brown shoes on, the chocolate brown top, and then I have gone for a chocolate brown belt as well. Now, this does not make a huge difference to the outfit, but all of a sudden, I now have a focal point right here. And that is what details in your outfit is going to do. They're going to create the focal points in your outfit. If you don't want to wear a belt, you can go for a big statement earring. If you have a bit of a longer neck, you can go for a big statement necklace. You can go for rings, bracelets, you can have sparkly shoes on, or even a crazy handbag. But it's all about having a focal point in your outfit. And that's exactly what the belt buckle does. Because of that little bit of a bling there is on the belt buckle, all of a sudden, when you look at my outfit, where does your eye land? Your eye land right here. Your eye will land where it's light and bright in the outfit, and the sparkle of the metal in the belt buckle is enough to pull your eye in. So when I'm kind of moving a little bit, yes, my face and my hands are bright and light too, compared to the outfit, but the metal is shiny, so that is where your eye is going to be drawn to. So you're going to see my belt buckle first, meaning your eye, when you look at me, is going to zoom in here, and then your eye is going to bounce from where you can see my skin, meaning you can see my skin there at the top of my feet, my hands, and my face. Because my face is the bigger area, your eye will be drawn up to that. That is how it works. It's amazing what such a small little piece can do. But that is where your eye lands in my outfit, and then your eye is drawn up to my face. And when you're looking around my outfit as I'm standing, it's harmonious. That is why I also like to keep it in less colors. If you're wearing patterns, we could do the patterns. I've just popped it on over the other. Can you see how this belt, because it has a brighter color, it also has the pattern, again, that attracts the attention. But can you see how much more your eye lands here versus anywhere else? And now all of a sudden, the belt, because it's light, it's competing with attention for my face. Right? It's a personal preference. It's simply just a matter of creating the focal points in your outfit. And I personally prefer something that's more muted, that's a little bit calmer, a little bit more plain, if you want to call it plain. But can you see the difference? You still have the focal point of the belt buckle, but the rest of the outfit is quite calm. That's simply just something to keep in mind when you are choosing a belt. What do you personally prefer? Do you like having that the attention is drawn to the belt, or would you prefer that it's just to the buckle and then drawn up to your face? It's completely up to yourself. My style, as I say, is very, very plain, very structured, timeless, classic. That's what I prefer. But play around with your belt and don't be afraid that a belt is going to show up your size, because on the contrary, it's going to show up as a focal point of your outfit. Next outfit is my burgundy suit that you have seen here on my channel a gazillion times. I love wearing this suit open like I did with the green one. I have the belt on the inside. But one thing I love as well is to actually wear a belt on the outside of my jackets. Now you see, as an apple shape, defining our waist, you would have heard me say this a million times as well, defining our waist is extremely important. And defining your waist, there is no easier way to do it than actually wearing a belt. It's also extend the life of your pieces that you have in your wardrobe, because you can wear them in more ways. But can you see the difference that a belt makes to this outfit? Once again, where does your eye land? It'll start here at the belt buckle because it's shiny. And then it'll be drawn up to my skin, up at my cleavage area and up to my face. There's nothing wrong with the suit as it is, just like this. Not at all. It's a little bit boxy, yes, but that's okay. I love that silhouette. But with the belt on, all of a sudden, we have not only pulled in the waist and defined that waist, we have also created a focal point in the outfit with the belt buckle. Can you see how much of a difference it makes in the outfit? It's not huge, it's not mind-blowing, it's such a small detail, but it does so much for the outfit. And then we should just mention the color of the belt. I happen to have this belt that's pretty much the same color as this suit, which is fab, meaning it's just harmonious. Now again, if we go for the leopard print one, not something that I've ever tried before, but sure, there's a first for everything. If I put the leopard print belt on, can you see how much more all of a sudden my waist is standing out? Once again, the belt is competing as a focal point with my skin. Right? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this, but it's far more noticeable. And this is why when people are wearing belts, they feel that they're really showing when you are wearing a belt and it's not covered up. And that's because the belt is drawing the attention away from the rest of the outfit. The burgundy one is just far more harmonious with the outfit itself. And that's what makes all the difference. Can you see that? But wearing a belt on top of your blazers, a fantastic way to use it. I personally just prefer to go for one that has the same color as the suit. For an outfit like this, where I have a piece like a full sequin skirt, which is really the focal point of the outfit, wearing a belt or not a belt, that is a personal preference. There is nothing wrong with the outfit as it is. The attention has been drawn to the skirt. My waist is clearly defined because I'm wearing pure black at the top, and then the sequin skirt is plain, it's part. So it's really up to you whether or not you want to finish the outfit. I personally love wearing a belt with this outfit. I think it just once again creates that little harmonious focal point in the outfit and just finishes it off beautifully. I have gone for black because I'm wearing black at my top half, and it's gunmetal black that I'm wearing in the sequin, and then I have a silver buckle. Once again, it's just tying the colors together, keeping it more harmonious. But can you see by just adding the belt again, all of a sudden your eye is drawn to the belt buckle. It then is drawn to the sequin skirt, but obviously the sequin skirt is the star of the show. And then your eyes will then be drawn to my face or my hands or my feet, depending on what shoes that I put on. But I want to give you another visual just so you can see what a belt buckle actually does. Because if I put a statement bracelet on, right? Fantastic bracelet, looks fantastic on top of the black turtleneck. But can you see all of a sudden now, I'm standing here, your eye is going from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, to skirt, to face. Where are we going? Adding too many pieces in an outfit can be confusing. And because the belt buckle is shiny as well as the metal of the bracelet, they're competing against each other. And many of us wouldn't think about that, but it's all about harmonizing the outfit. So having two focal points, can you see that? It gets a little bit confusing for the eye. And that is why I personally love belts as much as I do, because they do create that focal point. On top of that, because I'm an apple shape and I'm rectangular, it draws the eye in, meaning when you have a quick look at me, it's actually as if I'm kind of getting a little bit skinnier. I hate saying that word, I'm sorry, but I look slimmer because the eye is drawn in the way. Whereas with the bracelet, your eye is drawn out the way, and that actually makes me look broader than it does if I don't have the bracelet on. Can you see the difference? It's such a tiny, minute little details, but it's in those details we are going to find our style. And that is why I rave so much about belts for us apple shapes, because we are the largest around the tummy. And that is what most of us wants to hide. Giving us a focal point right in the middle will not only slim us down, it'll give us the illusion of a waist, even if we don't have one, but it'll also draw the attention away from the tummy, hiding it in plain sight. And as an apple shape, hiding my tummy has always been my biggest insecurity. So that's what I want to hide. So I hope that has been helpful. I hope I have covered all bases when it comes to belts. If you have any questions, please just leave them for me in the comments and I will do my very best to answer as many as I can. But don't be afraid of belts. Play around with them. You can start with the very inexpensive belts. I say Shein has some fantastic ones. But that is it for today. If you made it this far and sat through the ads, thank you so much, because that's how you help my channel. Will you do me one last favor and leave me a green heart in the comments before you leave? It is simply just to show me and the algorithm that you made it to the end. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.